it looks like there is a buyer.
Yeah, there's an expression of interest, and the only expression of interest that has been accepted by the banks, by World One, which is a Naveen Jindal company, which owns Jindal Power, which has submitted the expression of interest. So now, this does not confirm a financial bid, but after this has been accepted. So now, Jindal Power will be doing due diligence, and after that will be submitting a formal report for its bid to take over Go First.
All right.
It's a new territory for Jindal.
Okay, new territory for Jindal. Very, very surprisingly, there is a bid that's actually met all the criteria, and that has come by the way of Jindal Power. There may have been more bids, but they did not meet the criteria. These are the news reports, very preliminary sort of news reports that we are getting at this point, where Jindal could or is likely to be a prospective buyer for Go First. It's yet to finalize the bid, but the process has started. With the expression of interest. Go First saga, and since we've discussed it for far too long, let's quickly revise what we know so far. So Go First, we know that there is a temporary resolution professional who is looking into the day-to-day affairs of Go First. We don't know whether it's going to come back anytime soon, though.
I mean, I think
we've been talking about it forever now.
There is initiation, the expression of interest. I mean, it reaffirms the faith, for whatever reason, that entrepreneurs and businessmen have in profits arising out of aviation, which have been elusive up until now across the board, barring very, very few examples, Indigo being the prime example there. But yeah, Go First has remained grounded since 2nd of May this year. It's been more than 5 months that the airline has not taken off. We did see there were issues between lessors of the aircraft, and Go First, when the NCLT had actually put a hold on lessors repossessing their aircraft. Now, that confusion also got clarified, partly that subsequent insolvency petitions at NCLT will allow lessors to take aircraft back. But until then, whether that would be applicable retrospectively in the case of Go First or not, we don't know. But the fact is that, yeah, there is one EoI, and that EoI comes by way of Jindal Power. It comes by way of Naveen Jindal. And now I think it's a function of due diligence. It's a function of negotiation. And the onus is really on the resolution professional to be able to arrive at a deal which works in favor of whatever liabilities Go First has, which are fairly humongous, and the interests of Naveen Jindal's Jindal Power, which is hoping to perhaps control stake in Go First. Now, how long that's going to take, how long the negotiations will take, what is the price at which Naveen Jindal would be willing to take on the liabilities of Go First, and thereafter the operational cost, the sustained cost, paying salaries, keeping hangars, keeping, all other infrastructure intact, restarting the airline, taking it back to the skies. It's definitely not happening soon. It's definitely not happening soon. Can we put a timeline to it?
No.
I would perhaps say at least another quarter until we see some direction on a firmer
You're giving
timeline.
It a quarter?
But no, I'm saying not a quarter before it takes off, but a quarter at least to get a sense of which direction and what sort of a timeline will it eventually, unfold into.
And, you briefly touched upon the changes in insolvency rules, which will allow lessors to repossess the aircraft. If that happens, the existing fleet of Go First will almost be halved.
So we don't know whether that is going to happen retrospectively, which means on cases which are already
ongoing,
at NCLT stroke NCLAT, and whether IBC, the new change in the IBC Rule 19, if I'm not mistaken, is going to supersede the directives of the NCLAT, or it's going to be only for fresh applications coming in for insolvency. I think if the rule has been changed, two fears. One fear is that perhaps, the NCLT, NCLAT and the IBC expects more insolvency cases in aviation to hit them. And hence keep the interest and keep the interest of lessors intact, so that those airlines which continue to fly and continue to be operational, profitability and margins and market share wise or not should not get impacted. Or perhaps it could be implemented retrospectively that, okay, this is a problem, airlines stuck with us right now. Let's keep the lessors happy, take your aircraft back. We'll figure out through the resolution professional on whether we should sell it, whether it should continue for longer in this coma state, and where it should go. So we don't know whether it will be retrospective or not.
I'm hoping no more airlines tank anymore.
I'm
We've
sure
seen enough of
hoping
them.
That, especially those who run the aircraft, the airlines. But the market is fairly difficult to operate in.
As a consumer, I would want more airlines and more options perhaps. We don't know whether that's going to happen.